This is a book review of Quality Companion from Alter Ego and Twomorrows. This book came out a few years ago and probably out of print now, but you should be able to get, obviously, fine copies, but also you should be able to get the ebook version. That's one great thing about Twomorrows. I love Twomorrows.com website because most of their books are still available in digital form, even if you can't find the physical. Now, what was Quality? Quality was this brilliant company back in the 50s, and probably earlier as well, that had Spirit, Plastic Man, and a variety of Black Condor, The Ray, Human Bomb, Doll Man, Plastic Man, obviously just Black Hawk, Uncle Sam, and many others. Now, they've all ended up on DC Comics. DC Comics has got the license for that, and they brought out a number of books, and they had some great titles: Feature Comics, Smash Comics, Crack Comics, National Comics, Hit Comics, Military Comics, and Police Comics. They were very consistent in their, like maybe had Romance Comics and all that sort of stuff. So they really knew the titles that they were going to go for. This book is absolutely brilliant. It's a real thick, wonderful volume of 200 odd pages. Lots of, there's some colour, predominantly black and white, but there's some colour. I'm just going to quickly flick through there. So you've got The Ray. Now you've got some examples, and you've got quite a few stories here. You've got The Ray, Phantom Lady, this is versus Spider Widow, Black Condor, Human Bomb, Uncle Sam, Midnight, Firebrand, Wildfire, and Madam Fatal. So you've got a variety of different stories there. Then on to the actual book itself. Well, you've got this brilliant, obviously, listing all about Everett Busy Arnold. He was the publisher, as well as, of course, there were other people involved as well. There was like Eisner and Iger Studios. They all blended into this sort of family tree, and it's really good that they put a family tree. So there's a lot of information about the artists, collecting Quality Comics. I've got a couple of Quality Comics. I think they're really, really good, brilliant quality magazines as well. And there are a number of characters that I mentioned, some of them, but obviously there was like Torchy, the Barker, and you've got also a lot of detail about the history of the company, the copyrights, about Golden Age digital comics, also interviews with, obviously, recent Len Vine, obviously Justice League of America. I love those ones when they came out. Really thoroughly enjoyed this. It was about around issue 100, and you had a variety of different stories with these brilliant characters. I didn't know who they were, I must admit. I knew about DC Comics, I knew about Marvel Comics, but for me, I'd never heard of Quality Comics. And you've got variety, and you've got some fine examples down there as well. DC Firsts. So you've got those, and then you've got also about the artists. So you've got Al Bryant. So you've got Al Bryant, got a lot of detail about it, obviously other ones as well. But you've got here, not only that, you've got a comicography as well. So if you obviously want to go and find out more about these artists, try and check out these comics, buy some of the comics, well, you can. Obviously, you've got all the information. Obviously, Will Eisner. Now, Will Eisner, of course, Spirit, there's a vast number of books about him, as well as by him as well. So you've got Hit Comics, so you've got more examples there. And then you've got various heroes in chronological order, the number of issues they were in. This is really quite a comprehensive book. This really has gone for a lot of detail about Black Hawk as well, Black Hawks, the Clock, and it's got about, obviously all about what happened to them pre-Quality, and you've got a little bit of information about some, obviously, the early appearances of the guy, then in Quality Comics, and also, of course, then modern references as well. Also Malibu Comics. So you've got a variety of different things. Doll Girl, a Destroying Demon, Doll Man, The Dragon, Firebrand, Ghost of Flanders. So there's a lot of information in this book, throughout this book. I think it's just absolutely superb. Manhunter, Phantom Lady, and then you've got Plastic Man, Secret Seal. And of course you've got examples of the DC Comics, as well as obviously Uncle Sam, as well as the Quality Comics as well. And also Quality Comics list of titles. So you've got superhero ones, humour and funny animals. Also you've got romance as well, adventure, horror, western, quality heroes at DC, and also Arnold's magazines as well, because he did like Master Photography, Gusto, He-Man, Adventures. So you've got quite a few examples there. And also publishing notes as well. Then Smash Comics, it's got a great listing of all the characters, appearances, etc. Military comics, police comics, and then at the back, of course, a number of the issues from Twomorrows Publishing. So an absolutely first-rate book. I really love this quality companion. I was really pleased I got a copy, because I know sometimes with these Twomorrows, if you don't get them when they come out, sometimes they're very hard to get after that. So I think it's one of these really brilliant books, and certainly if you're into 1950s, 1940s, that sort of the history of comics, I think this book is just, along with all the other ones on Twomorrows as well, well worth checking out. So, quality companion.